All right, everyone, welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. Today, we're cutting through the noise and zeroing in on the digital trends that actually matter. I've leveraged advanced AI to distill the latest research into clear, actionable insights, so we can focus on strategy, not fluff. Let's get started.
So, let's talk about AI. It's coming for knowledge workers, for sure. But here's the thing, not all of them. In this explainer, we're going to break down the exact blueprint for a one-person business that AI literally can't touch.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with something that's probably making a lot of online entrepreneurs, well, pretty nervous. This idea that selling your knowledge online is a dying industry. Now, is that a little dramatic? Yeah, maybe. But it points to a massive shift that, trust me, you absolutely cannot afford to ignore right now.
So that really begs the question, right? And it's probably the most important question for any of us as entrepreneurs today. What kind of business is actually AI-proof? Well, that's exactly what we're going to answer. Let's dig in.
Okay, so to get to the answer, we first have to understand why the old way of doing things is just broken. And here's the hard truth, the thing nobody really wants to hear. In this new age of AI, information by itself is quickly becoming worthless. I mean, just look at how much things have changed. A decade ago, if you wanted a financial forecast for your business, what did you do? You had to go hire an expensive specialist, right? Today, you can just use a simple AI prompt and it'll spit out a custom budgeting app for you in, what, a few minutes? The whole idea of expert knowledge as a gatekept thing, it's just gone. It's evaporated.
And what happens when that expertise becomes basically free? Well, you get a race to the bottom. That's what happens. If you're trying to compete just on information, you're going to lose. It's a losing game because AI will always be faster and it will always be cheaper.
But look, this isn't all doom and gloom. It's not a dead end. It's just a pivot. The real key here, the secret to building a business that's irreplaceable, is to stop playing AI's game. Stop competing where it's strong and instead double down on where it's weak. Let's talk about where we, as humans, still have the ultimate upper hand.
Okay, first and foremost, lived experience. You see, an AI has all the data in the world, right? But has it ever stayed up until 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, absolutely sick with worry about making payroll? No. It can't replicate your unique, in-the-trenches, hard-won experience. And that is what people are truly willing to pay a premium for.
Next up, real accountability. Seriously, think about this for a second. When do people usually fail? Is it because they didn't have enough information? Rarely. It's almost always a lack of execution. An AI can send you a notification, it can ping you with a reminder, but can it look you in the eye, ask you the hard questions, and actually hold you to your own goals? No way. That human connection, you just can't replace it.
And this one is so important. True community. Let's be honest, the path of an entrepreneur can be incredibly lonely. A chatbot might be able to simulate a conversation, maybe even some empathy, but it can't give you a tribe. It can't give you a real group of people who are right there in the trenches with you, who get the struggle. That is uniquely human.
And all of this, lived experience, accountability, community, it all leads to the big one, the most important piece of the puzzle, deep transformation. See, information can give you a roadmap. It can tell you what to do, but it can't change who you are. Real, lasting identity shifts, they don't come from a spreadsheet or a PDF. They come from doing the work, being held accountable, and doing it alongside other people.
Okay, so we know what the human advantages are. The big question now is, how do we package all of this up into an offer that's so valuable, AI just can't compete? Well, it's all about making one fundamental shift. You stop selling information, and you start delivering transformation. And there's a great little model for this called the CARE model, C-A-R-E. The C stands for content. You know, your videos, your guides, all that stuff. But here's the key. That's just the starting point. That's the part that AI is commoditizing, making free. The real value, the premium stuff, comes when you layer on the other three parts: accountability, relationships, and unique experiences. You stack those on top of the content, and that's how you build an offer that's truly priceless.
And you know what's really interesting? When you structure your offer this way, something amazing happens. It actually changes the type of clients you attract. See, those cheap, low-ticket info products, they tend to attract passive consumers, people who just collect stuff. But when you create a high-ticket, transformational offer, you attract partners, people who are truly committed. They show up, they do the work, and guess what? Their success becomes your single best marketing tool.
And listen, this isn't just some nice theory.
Let me give you a real-world example. We had a client, a DJ named Phil. He was selling a little $37 course. He managed to go from that to a $6,000 program. Can you believe that? A DJ. He thought his niche had a price ceiling, that DJs just wouldn't pay that much. But it was never about the niche. The ceiling was his offer. The moment he stopped selling information and started selling a real transformation, everything changed.
All right, so now you've got the idea for this high-value, priceless offer. The next question is obvious. How in the world do you get it to market without locking yourself in a room for the next year trying to build it? The answer is way simpler than you think. It's a 7-day launch. This right here, this is the trap that almost everyone falls into. We call it the perfectionist's path. You spend months, maybe even a whole year, trying to build the perfect course or the perfect program, all by yourself. And what's the result after all that time? $0, zero feedback from actual customers, and honestly, a pretty good chance you never even launch the thing.
Now, the alternative is what we call the validation path. And the logic here is the complete opposite. It's simple. Launch now, get a client, get their feedback, improve. That's it. This creates this incredible loop where you're literally getting paid to build your product, and it's being shaped by what the market actually wants, not just what you think they want.
So what's the tool you use for this super fast launch? It's called the pop-up offer. And it's really just a fancy name for a service you can deliver right away, using your time and expertise, instead of a big pre-built product. The whole goal is to get you to stop planning in a spreadsheet and start serving an actual paying client, like this week. Okay, so we've covered the what, the model for a priceless offer. And we've covered the how, the method to launch it fast. Now it's time to make this real for you. It all boils down to one simple, actionable step. I want you to forget about courses and products and funnels for just a minute, and just ask yourself this one question. If your ideal client walked up to you tomorrow, handed you $10,000 and said, "Solve my biggest problem," what would you do for them? Seriously, don't overthink it. Whatever just popped into your head, that is your pop-up offer. So look, if you take away only one single thing from all of this, let it be this. Stop trying to be perfect and start validating. The most valuable, most important step you can possibly take is to get that human-centric, high-value offer out into the world now, and then make it better with real feedback from real clients. Hey, if you want more insights just like this on how to build a smart, leveraged digital business, make sure you're subscribed to TNT Digital Mindset. Thanks so much for tuning in.